Yeah, well, they cut my video. They stopped the video, but it's okay. Like I was saying, it's no wonder why in the black community the way young people behave, even people my age behave, right? Because again, when you're able to see the conditioning, the psychological conditioning that had been happening to black people, right? Particularly if you were a targeted individual, because you know how they've psychologically conditioned you, and you've done the study to understand how you were psychologically conditioned, right, under this program. Okay, now Dantelon Jones says it best in his book Mind Control Language Pattern. He says that there are people who are programmed to behave and act negatively. Okay, and when people look at those people, they see them as they may say, okay, these people, something's wrong with these people. Why, they act, but they don't understand that their minds are being programmed to behave that way. So that person themselves don't even understand what's going on. They're following their own programming, right, which is again negative, right? So you have to understand that. So it just it's funny as I should say funny, but it's amazing that when you talk to people who you see have been conditioned a certain way, and you try to tell them, and they don't want to listen. They don't want to hear. They, because again, dysfunctionality is normalcy for them. But I know that's not normal, and you as a TI know that's not normal. Okay, so you have to understand their programming, and it can be it is frustrating. Because like talking to a brick wall. You know, because exactly who they are. They've become uh, uh, um, they've become the zombie. Brainless. I shouldn't say brainless, but people with brains that don't think. People with brains that their emotions are controlled by the powers that be, that can make them angry at a particular person, that can turn them against a particular person, that can cancel a particular person. You know, and they don't see it because they don't think that it could ever happen to them, right? And you hear when I say cancel, how they they do with the car honking. So there are certain words, like I said, that they'll do this with. Can't, particularly with me, cancel. It's like saying that they cancel me. Uh, ex, right? Like my ex, whether it be Pam or my ex that I talk to sometimes, um, you know, and just certain words like window, like the word win, or anything that sounds like ass, assassin, association, as what have you, ask. You'll hear them honk their horn when those words are, or even when I'm reading, right, by remote neural monitoring, they will be honking their horn as I read certain words, right? Words like like, and even letters like the A, the S, the C, what else, F, because again, this is how they program you, right? So whatever they put into your mind, okay, when you see those things, particularly when they use it, and you'll notice it because it's being repeated. Remember, when things are happening in front of you repeatedly, that's a form of psychological condition. So you got to recognize that, right? And when you recognize that, now you got to go into, okay, what can I do to change whatever programming that's being done, or whatever anchor that's attached to those triggers, right? So you got to be able to think on that level to be able to change it, okay? And once you're able to do that, then you'll be able to uh, fight back, in a way that's more beneficial to you and to your mindset. You know, I mean, let me give you another example, like with Pam, and how she tries to use psychological manipulative tactics against me. Right. So, for example, if I come in the house, and it's dirty, and I said, "Oh man, and here so why is it here so dirty? What have you?" And then she's talking about, "Oh yeah, I gotta clean up, and then she starts saying, "Oh man, yeah, I gotta clean up, oh man," right? Not "oh man," not amen, but "oh man." So like, and then if so, then I'm like, yeah, I know what she's doing. So then I don't clean up, right? Because I guess she's trying to say, if you clean up, then I'm a man. Listen, I know I'm a man. Okay, I don't need you to tell me I'm a man. I don't need anybody else to tell me I'm a man. I know I'm a man. Okay, you're not going to play this game, right? And so one of the things that they'll try to do too. Actually, let's get back to her before I go on to this one. But so when I don't clean up, when I'm leaving, I don't clean up, she'd be like, "Oh boy," she walk by me and she'll go, "Oh boy," that sort of thing, right? Trying to say like I'm a boy if I don't do what she says. You see how they try to be slick with their shit. Okay, they try to be slick with their shit, but that shit don't work. It's not working. It's not gonna work with me. And I mean, if you're a TI, you watching my videos, when they try to do that to you, don't don't fall for it. Don't fall for it. It's their way of trying to manipulate you, right, to get you to do what they want you to do, right? Without them saying to you, well, maybe you should do it. Maybe you do it because she's not going to say no, right? But if you try to put it in a way where like, oh, try to make me feel like a man, I don't need your fucking approval to be a man. Okay? I don't need your approval to be a man. I am a man. Okay? Just like as a TI, you're a man, you're a woman, whoever you are, whatever gender you are. Don't let them try to belittle you. And don't let them try to use sex as a tool to try to control you also. Don't let them try to control you through money. Okay? Because again, these are all methods of control. And you got to understand that. Right? So like, even when what was it? Even yesterday when I came to pick up Alyssa, I get in the elevator, one of her neighbors, who live on the 5th floor, this old woman, she's always targeting me too. She gets in the elevator and as she walks off, she goes, "Oh boy." You know what I'm saying? And I'm like, I'm looking at these old women who act like they're in their fucking 20s, right? That's why they're by themselves. They're lonely, okay? And then they get some young guy to screw them left and right, okay? Because that's the life that they're living. Then when they ask get too old and need help, they got no one to turn to. Because you know why? They're being conditioned that way. But they're too, they're so caught up in the material, they're so caught up in the bullshit, right? But then they want to turn and call you a boy because you're not doing what they want you to do. But they will not do what you want them to do. Particularly as a black man. I see it all the time, how black women are being conditioned one way and black men are being conditioned another way. Like if I'm a black man, if I don't do what a black woman says, then I'm a boy. Get the fuck out of here. So if a black woman don't do what I say, can I call her a girl? Can I call her a little girl? Is that okay? Because they ain't gonna have it, right? So anyway, as a TI, don't let them try to belittle you and try to define what a man or a woman is to you, right? You are a man if you're a man, and you are a woman if you're a woman. Okay? Don't let them try to define you. You define yourself. Okay? And as long as you're not hurting anybody, you try to live your life the best way you know how. Right? Try to educate yourself even more. Try to learn more. Because the one thing they don't want you to do is to acquire knowledge. They want you to believe in these bullshit ass stories. You hear some TS talk about aliens and shapeshifters and all this bullshit. It's all bullshit. It's all to keep you in a state of sounding and looking crazy. All right? Understand that. Because even if you believe it, if you have no proof, okay, then who are you going to convince? You got to work and look at the things in which you can gather proof and evidence in which you can present. Okay? Not talking about, satanic this and demon this, what have you. Because the people that are targeting you, they're not demons, they're Christians. They're Muslims. They're Buddhists. They're Hindus. Okay? They're Islamic. Right? So they ain't no demon. Like I always say, if you really believe that these people are demon and they call themselves Christians, imagine what they're calling you. They're also calling you a demon. Okay? And you're not a demon, right? Because demons is just shit that Hollywood makes up, right? Demon is the shit that King James made up in his, psychopathic mind. And then Hollywood give you an image, You see it in the movies or what have you, and all of a sudden, you think that that's a demon. Like, you got to think. Use your mind. This is what they don't want you to do. They don't want you to use your mind. But use your mind. Think. Okay? Let's talk to you guys in the next video.